Now, the Philippines is clamping down on local transmission of the coronavirus with house-to-house searches for COVID-19 patients. Police are accompanying health workers to the homes of people who have tested positive. Patients will be taken to government facilities if their homes cannot be used for self-isolation or if they are living with vulnerable people. 50 quarantine facilities are to be built to manage the growing number of cases. And that's on top of the 8,300 centres nationwide. Coronavirus restrictions have been eased in recent weeks, and that's fueled a surge in new infections. To date, there are about 59,000 cases nationwide. Buena Bernal joins us live now from Manila. So, Buena, activists are warning of potential rights violation with these house-to-house searches. Any real concern or assurance against violations?
The presidential palace argues that this new measure of house-to-house visits to COVID-19 patients on home quarantine who are suspected not to meet the minimum home isolation protocol standards is part of government's contact tracing efforts and is therefore a legitimate exercise of the state's police power. It also clarified the parameters of this new strategy, saying that number one, it's the local health workers who will lead the effort, and the presence of police is merely for support or assistance, and that number two, a house visit will only happen if a report of possible breach of minimum home isolation standards comes from the patient himself, from other members of the household, or their village officials. The government calls this new strategy Oplan Kalinga, which in English means an operation of care, but the branding doesn't seem to have come across as effectively as authorities hope. What is the concern? The concern is possibility of police abuses. At least 2 shooting incidents by police in checkpoints since the pandemic began have been reported, including the June 29 shooting by cops of 4 intelligence unit soldiers in civilian clothing on a counterterrorism operation in southern Philippines. The incident has put a spotlight on the supposed lack of training of some policemen, with the Army spokesperson saying in a television interview that police could benefit from training on situational awareness, threat analysis, before deciding on the use of a weapon. Some critics have branded policemen manning checkpoints as trigger-happy. In April, police in a Metro Manila checkpoint shot dead an Army veteran despite community members shouting that the man was mentally ill. And videos of that encounter showed that Mr. Winston Ragos was trying to taunt police of an unknown item inside his sling bag. But those who witnessed the encounter said that police should have immobilized him first. The presidential palace says it is unfortunate that critics of the administration are vilifying the government for what it called a strategy of contact tracing.
Okay, many thanks for that update. Buena Bernal speaking to us from Manila.